as the show begins. You're telling all your friends the party never ends. Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show. I'm gonna get my sticks. The mic is live and clear for you and all to hear. Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show.
We are having so much fun, and we know you're going to love our next guest. His name is Tony Walker, and he is a comedy guy. Comedy cures everything. So.
Absolutely. I had cancer at the age of 32, and I do believe that the laughter and the positive attitude got me through it just as much as the medications did, which led to the comedy troupe that I run called Knockem Dead Comedy. We do dinner theater, murder mysteries, game shows, kid shows. You know, we're not stand-up or anything like that, just comedy shows, variety shows.
So you go to restaurants and where else? Like theaters?
Restaurants, private parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Did I say fundraisers?
Fundraisers, firehouses.
The comedy shows, they're murder mysteries, they're audience participation. It's a scripted show because, you know, there's clues and hints that have to go out, but it's not a don't blink or you'll miss something. It's not Agatha Christie. You know,
Right.
it's a comedy, it's lighthearted, but one of the characters does get killed,
Right.
and then the audience has to figure out who did
it
it
is.
and
I
why.
wanna get killed.
And if it's a private party or a corporate event, we personalize it to fit, you know, their event.
Now, do you ask the audience for help with the mysteries? Or
Yeah,
you
they solve it.
All by themselves?
Based on what they saw during the show, we even give them a little section where they can interrogate the suspects.
Oh, that's
and,
fun.
You know, so we'll deflect, deny, point fingers at other characters, but everybody makes the rounds throughout the whole room and
Okay.
talks to people.
The show is guaranteed. It's 100% guaranteed fun.
Totally.
Everywhere we go,
always.
everybody loves that show.
The audience they just get so involved, and there's just such a part of the show, and that makes it even better.
The other things that you do aside
Yeah,
from
we do
mystery.
game shows.
Oh, the game show, we have a podium with lights and buzzers and sounds, and it's basically
Like
a
a
trivia
Family
game
Feud.
show, or it could
Right.
be, you know, again, we ad-lib with that too, so they may want a trivia game show, but if we show up and they're a loud, boisterous group and they're a lot of fun, we could ask them to do funny physical challenges or do some karaoke or whatever, or name that tune, whatever we feel like doing, and they'll be willing to do. We'll take it there.
What movie introduced the phrase, "There's no crying in baseball"?
Oh, wait.
What letter comes after A? Yes, go ahead. B is correct!
Is there a favorite skit that you do that just still cracks you up every time you do it?
We do a lot of audience participation murder mystery shows, comedic murder mystery shows. And there's 2 shows. We have a mob show. We're in New York. You have to have the mob shows. And we have a redneck wedding, which is just
Oh, that I have
it's
to
a
come
lot
see
of
that
fun.
one.
You're welcome
Yeah!
anytime. Anytime. In fact, I even
Well,
brought
growing
you a
up in
shirt.
St. Louis, Missouri, I have to say, you did?
Oh, of course I did. That you will wear
Hey!
everywhere you go. In fact, I have a whole bunch. I'm giving one out to everybody.
Everywhere I go. Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Knockem Dead
Oh,
Comedy.
that's great.
Can I
Knockem Dead
pretend I'm
Comedy.
drinking something here?
Excellent. Yeah, you can pretend like
Thanks,
you're drinking something.
I'm having fun on the set.
You know, we actually do put water in it when guests ask.
Just
we
not
do. But
this
if you
guest,
but if you don't ask ahead of time, wait, this one's full of water. You ready?
Nice.
1, 2, 3. All right, there you go.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what? Had an awesome time. All right. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles.
Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show.
Hi, everybody. It's Thursday. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, coming at you live on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Not .com, but Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the Facebook page. That's the name of the YouTube channel. But we're interacting with you guys on the YouTube channel. So please say hi to us on the comment thread and hit that thumbs up. And please copy the link and share this page and this show all over the place, and get on the phone and call people and tell them about this amazing show where you see all these funny comedians like this guy right here. It's Thursday. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, where you will see Aaron Berg this weekend, Friday and Saturday, at the at the Giggle Room here at Governor's in Levittown. Terry McNeely, your buddy, he's playing Friday with Billy Geyer, Joe Cravella, Dan LaRocco, Steve Rocco Perillo, and a whole bunch of other great comedians. That's Friday night. But I know where you'll be on Saturday. You'll be at the Giggle Room on Saturday.
Saturday?
Because there's a drag queen show. on
Oh,
Saturday.
yes, I'll be there. We're doing drag queens everywhere, huh? That's the thing.
It is a thing.
It's the new thing.
The Brokerage in Belmore. Caitlin Cook is there tomorrow and Saturday, but tomorrow night, Friday night, there is an open mic after Caitlin Cook's show. An open mic with Sean Brown. Sean Brown is fantastic, and he runs a great open mic. And then McGuire's out in Bohemia this weekend. John McLennan is there Friday, and Mark DeMeo is there on Saturday. But you can see Mark DeMeo on this show tomorrow. He'll be Zooming in with us. Mark did the Green Room show with us, our Saturday night show. He did that with us once when he was here. Great guy, great comedian. Looking forward to that. And last but not least, if you're thinking about doing a podcast, you've always dreamed about doing one, in the few years that everybody's been doing it. You know what? I know of a great studio where you can record your podcast, or you can do it live, or if you just need to record any video or audio, look at this great studio here at Gov's Comedy Club. We got cameras, we got lights, we got graphics, we got phone calls, Zooms, and all sorts of great stuff. It's just a nice little studio. In fact, we're going to be filming a movie in here in a couple of weeks because we do it all. So get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. That's the name of the Facebook page. And we'll hook you up and take good care of you. So there you go. Those are all the announcements. Hope everybody's well. Jeff Skelsey scheduled to be here. I do believe he's coming in around 11:30. And, of course, see, I love it when the comedians just reach out and say, hey, I just want to come in and hang out today. Because that's what Chris Cassandro did.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what he's doing. So, and he's got big news. Tonight, Chris will be at the Brokerage in Belmore for round 1 of the Long Island Laugh-Off.
Long Island Laugh-Off.
Excited? Nervous? What?
Yeah, a little
Are you?
excited. Not nervous, not so much.
Yeah, I wouldn't be nervous.
Yeah, just a little excited. I never
Good.
did anything like this before. I guess you're always being judged, but
Well,
but
true.
right to your face, and an immediate thumbs up, thumbs down. I guess I've never done.
They don't even tell you who the judges are. Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, you'd look around and you'll see certain comedians there. You're like, oh, that's right. Some of them will jump up and do a
So
set,
I
but
need
still.
to ask my wife to just sit on random laps while I'm on set.
Damn. Too bad I'm not a judge. Damn it.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I've never done anything like this before, so that should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is round 1, right?
This is round 1. So they said prepare for about 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
So that's been the part trying to figure out what your tightest 5.
Right. Right. And because they're very strict. You can't go over that 5, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of eliminating some of the the 2 bits that I have that are a little bit more of a story involved. You kind of want to get rid of those and try and hit bang bang bang. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens. Experience is always good, right? So
and it's I mean, it's cool. I mean, the grand prize is what, time on the big stage?
yeah,
right?
I think it's a paid weekend spot on the
Okay.
big stage in the main room, and like $250.
That's all right.
Yeah. I think top 3 you get a little bit of something, but the weekend paid gig is really what I think.
Right.
But
it's a good experience. I mean, one, you get to see other comics, you get to meet, you get to network. Just moving up a little bit will get you a little bit of exposure, and I think in your case you've played the big room, and I think you'll be back in there anyway.
Yes,
that's
I
my
hope
prediction.
so. I hope so. I hope so. And I've done Brokerage before years ago with Terry McNeely and George Gallo shows, a couple of those.
Right.
So I like that room too. It's a little, I did. It was on the 26th. I did. It was in the main room here, and it was like for a fundraiser. It was probably about 45, 50 people, and it's different when. In a small room, that's a lot of people.
Right.
But in a big room, it looks
Right.
like the room's empty. And
Right.
that was like a kind of a mental thing. Like, what am I doing? Is this a dead room or is it not a dead room?
But then on the other end of that, because the goal of anybody that attempts any type of comedy on Long Island, that's the goal, right? That big room at Governor's in Levittown. So I hear what you're saying when there's only 45 people, but then on the other end, when you get in there and it's packed, you're like, holy shit, this is the goal. This is where I've always wanted to be.
Absolutely.
And like you said, the Brokerage, the Giggle Room, McGuire's, they're smaller rooms. So you go in there to a packed house, and that kind of throws you off for a second. You got to take that in for a second.
Yeah. I think
but then the energy, carries you.
Right, the energy
but
carries
it
you.
is
I
a
think
little
with
weird.
the smaller people, not that it's a problem. It's just I think the maybe when it's a bigger room, the echo of the laughter. So if people could be laughing when it's a smaller crowd, and you might not hear it as much, and you're like, shit, is this okay? Like, am I doing all right? And you're kind of like looking around and
but I've found
checking faces.
No matter what size crowd, all three clubs, man, it's always the best audiences, and you'll get comedians from from other parts of the country that headline. They'll say the same thing. Right. There is nothing like the audiences here. So they're always supportive, and you're bound to have a good time no matter what.
Well, it's Long Island, right? New York.
Absolutely.
We all have twisted minds.
That's the truth.
You're catering. You're always going to find somebody that's hitting on your stuff.
Are you prepared to like take anybody out tonight before they go up, like slash their knee or something? So they got.
What? I haven't. I got to scope the competition first, right?
Oh, so you don't even know who else is there?
I have no idea who else is in there. There might be one other guy I believe may have entered that I'm aware of that had taken the comedy class with John Truson with I about a month and a half ago. I think one of them definitely signed up, and I'm not sure.
Come on.
Brad.
Oh, Brad. Yes, he was there last week.
He was there last
week.
Brad
Morrison?
Yes, Brad Morrison.
He was there last week.
Okay.
And I do believe I don't hold me to it, but I do believe he advanced.
Oh, nice. So he did it last week. Okay, so he's not going to be at this particular show.
Right.
Okay.
Dan LaRocco advanced last week. You know what? I wonder if I can find it. I know. Do you know Joe Cavella? He was just in here on Tuesday.
Yes, I don't know him personally, but I know who you're speaking.
He's on tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and they basically said, based upon how many comics are there, will determine, I guess, that extra minute that you can get.
Oh, okay.
Which then, at the end of the day, I guess I got to prepare for that, because an extra minute, it's one joke can be 2 minutes, and I got to make sure I don't do that one.
That's right.
Because I want to kind of stay true to the time.
All right. So that's him, right? That's Brad right there.
Hold on, I can't
get the glasses on, old man.
The glasses. That's Brad.
All right, Brad made it.
Brad made it.
Dan
all right,
LaRocco made it. Gio Perez made it. Our friend Jack Adam made it. Vinny Smith, Laura Patton, and Gordon Kutcher. I didn't see all these guys.
Now they also do it at McGuire's, correct?
Yes,
and here. I
don't know the schedule, but I don't know if the first round is here. Maybe as it advances, they do eventually. I mean, of course, the
main room
final show.
Oh, is that the main room? Nice.
But yeah, they do spread it out between all three clubs. I should get Nicole in here to find out what goes on. But
yeah, it was very. I didn't get too much details. John asked if I wanted to do it. I signed up for it. Got a couple of emails saying, this is your date.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen Gordon Kutcher before. He's good. Laura Patton said I saw her. She was great. Dan LaRocco's always great. Gio Perez had a good set. Jack Adam. Oh, that's when I got there last Thursday. Jack was on stage, but I've seen Jack before. He's a good guy, and he's funny. I didn't see Vinny Smith. Oh, and I didn't see Brad. All right.
So
but congratulations,
those are all that advanced from last week.
Those are the ones that advanced. So 7 people advanced from last week.
And how many people did they have about?
There was good questions. I would say so. Yeah, those 7 advanced. There was at least. There's probably 14 or 15 last week.
So is it? I wonder if it's a percentage of how many people are on that specific show, or if they just feel if 10 guys go up and kill it, then like, all right, we'll advance all 10.
I think
like,
I'm not
in a competition within that night. You know what I mean? Is it a
yes? It is a competition within that night. Right,
okay.
and that's why there's several rounds.
Right,
they bring them all together, so it's all bracketed that way.
Okay. Oh, now the pressure's on, knowing that Brad got this round 2. I'm gonna have to shoot him a text.
Son of a bitch, don't you dare showing up to round 2 if you know what's good for you. Wow. So, so I know Crevella's there tonight. And do you have people going?
I have a few people going, yeah. A few people that wanted to go. I mean, the hope is that you get at least 4, otherwise I think it's like a $20 entry.
Oh, okay.
Because that money goes towards the prizes and stuff like that, but I still have people that still wanted to come out and wanted to go, so there'll be a few people. I mean, as of now, I think there's 6 or 7, but all throughout the day, people, hey, you still going on tonight? What time? And
right.
like, I don't know. Because the flyer has your name,
right?
7:30. So I'm getting a couple of people like, hey, you going on 7:30 show up? I'm like, no, this
I-
isn't my show.
Right. I've gotten that from people too. So I want to know if I can come late or leave early.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Just stay for the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I was like, if you don't get there in time and I go up, I'll text you. I don't know what else to tell you.
There was one comedian, I forget who it was. He was there and he had some people there to see him. They went outside, smoked cigarettes, and then all of a sudden he gets called to go up.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I see his friends come back in. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to see you." He's like, "Dude, I just went up," and I didn't know the guy, so I'm just kind of watching from a distance. And you see his friends are like, "We're so sorry," man." And this guy didn't even make it, so he neaded his people to laugh it up.
To laugh it up, yeah, yeah. But it's I like I try not to get like overloaded because I want to get a real idea.
Okay.
Right. So the first time I came back when I did the Terry McNeely show, I had like 30 people show up, and I had a good positive feedback. But I did have some random people after the show that I didn't know tell me that it was good. They enjoyed it.
Nice.
Then the comedy, the graduation show we did, I probably had about maybe 12 people, and it was a packed room. I got good feedback from that. And then on the 26th, only 2 people came out to see, and I got good positive feedback. So I don't like to have it constantly with people that because, are they nervously clapping for you? Are they
It's a false
blowing shit
security,
up your ass to tell you, make you feel good? I want to know, am I good or am I not? Is it good or not?
Yep.
You want to get a real feel of what's going on.
And that's the thing, when people you don't know come up to you and tell you they enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
that's
really
like,
nice. They're like, oh, that was really funny. I was like, okay.
Right.
All right, we'll try this. We'll do this again, I guess. We'll give it another shot.
I'll join a contest.
I'll join the contest.
Wow. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
I can't get there tonight, but I'll be pulling for you. I'll be pulling for Joe Cravella as well, and I don't know who else is there, but hopefully we'll find out that if you don't, because I've seen some of your act, and you've been in here enough. You're funny. If you don't make it, I'll track that Nicolia down
and be like, what the?
Mm-hmm. Because even last year there were a couple of people I felt should have made it that didn't make it. I don't know if you got to slip them with 20. I don't know what this takes.
I don't know. Like I said, I was gonna have my wife do, schmooze the crowd, but now we don't know. She's gonna have to go table to table, I guess.
Well, just start with Nicolia.
I
mean, he's only like 20. Actually, he might be around 30. So,
oh yeah,
yeah. So he might. He might
enjoy that.
Enjoy that attention.
If he likes older women, we're in.
I think he just likes anybody on his lap. Wow. So yeah, that's tonight, and the audiences I find are always good. Like they're always they support of everybody, whether they're for the person they're seeing. The person they're there for or not,
right?
They're always very supportive.
Well, it's good to know that people, still go to comedy clubs, with the intention to laugh at jokes, and not get aggravated.
Well, that's the thing. All the crap in the world that goes on today, all the social justice, social media warriors, whatever you call them, all the people that are brave behind a keyboard, none of that stuff is at the comedy clubs.
Right.
Nobody's going there looking for trouble.
Yeah.
I think they'd get the snot beat out of them if they were. Everybody's coming here to forget about all of it.
Yeah, I mean, and if you do, you've got to be living in some sort of miserable world.
Yeah,
if your intention is to look to what offended you,
right,
in a comedy club.
Yep.
I
mean, I honestly can't recall the last time somebody, like, I think Louis C.K. from like 3 years ago or something when he said something about autism. That's the last time that I remember somebody getting in trouble for something they said in the comedy club, and even that, it didn't really go anywhere. For like Louis didn't get in a lot of trouble. So.
No, and it didn't. Apparently, it didn't faze him because in his last special, he was talking about the retarded again. So it didn't seem to affect his approach toward comedy.
Absolutely,
And
then you said something before we went on the air. Where you just did a show with Roach somewhere? Where was that?
Right here. It was in the main
here.
room. Yeah, it was Thursday night
But then you talked about Bill Burr. Where was that?
Bill Burr was at New York Comedy Club last night. He popped in. I wasn't there, but
But did you say you were recently there as well?
I used to. That's where I started.
Used to?
Yeah, that's where I used to do a lot of work there. It was because I was working with Chris Murphy, doing workshops with him, and that was like the home base.
Right.
And apparently there's some sort of show. I forget the name that they call it, but it's supposed to be like one of the hottest shows in the city now.
Really.
On Wednesday nights, and I saw on Instagram that Bill Burr popped in.
Wow.
Just got up. And that's a great room. I love that.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
me
New
too.
York Comedy Club's a great room.
I was there years ago. In fact, me and Don Silver there, and Jim Gaffigan showed up and just did a few minutes.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's not. I like that room. It's just it's got that. The only thing missing is the cigar smoke and cigarette smoke, like
Right,
that
right.
old school feel.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like you can unleash. But now I think the city scares me
Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying
because they're
that.
all fucking. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the city, but it's just nothing but the SJW, pinkhead, and
Everybody says that it reeks of weed. Like yeah, they're saying that the freaks are everywhere.
the freaks are everywhere, and it seems that's where you're going to offend more people now. Where it used to be the city was where you would go
Right.
for the sole purpose, knowing that I can do anything, and
But the
it's not
freaks
gonna
were
make a
always
problem.
there. I mean, you look at like footage from the 70s. The place was a dump.
Yeah.
But it was fun. But it's not that.
No, it's not. And
You,
know
and
what
you
it
spent
is?
a lot of time in the
Yeah,
city.
I grew up in the city. I spent
No, but I mean lately since
yeah,
all
yeah,
this.
yeah. Since all this, you know what it is? I think it's I don't know how to say it, but it's like
Just say it.
It was it was debauchery, but still respectful. People were still aware and kind of had some kind of couth. And, okay, I'm not going to, but now it's like nobody gives a shit about anybody. There's no respect factor. It doesn't matter. You could be walking with your two kids and they're just going to sit there in front of you and light up that joint, whatever.
Right,
it just
right.
seems like nobody really has that, which kind of I think I used to like, I like, sometimes it's nice knowing you're doing something you shouldn't be doing and you try and hide it. And, there's that thrill of getting away with it. Now nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And they're all whiny little liberals in the city. It's just, I'm sorry to say, but they're all whiny little liberal, living in some sort of fucking utopia that doesn't exist in their mind. And it's just aggravating. It's a shame. The city's the best.
Well, see, that's the thing. I still love the city. I mean, I haven't really been there all that much since the pandemic, really. But when I have been there, it doesn't seem that bad to me. And even if with all those people there, like, but what I go to the city for, seeing a show or going to the Garden, it's still like none of that, nothing that we're talking about seems to affect whatever you're going there for.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the city. You put your head down, you do what
Right.
you got to do, you do what you got to do.
But the comedy clubs, that's how we get into this. And like we were saying here, that stuff, the craziness of this world isn't in the comedy clubs. Is it the same at the comedy clubs there? Or you can't, you're saying you got to hold back a little bit at the comedy clubs?
You know what? I mean, listen, if you, all right, if you follow on Instagram, you follow, let's say, Stand Up New York Comedy Club, a couple of them, right? And you're
Yeah.
watching the clips that are being set up, right?
Yeah.
So most of the stuff, if they're going somewhere, it's really left leaning on stage, and it's very receptive. If it's not, it's like hissy, because everybody in the crowd thinks they're fucking, because behind the keyboard they're the
Right.
best human being.
But maybe
everywhere.
those are the clips they're just posting for that reason.
But then
Maybe they
again-
don't want to see the
Right,
want to post the
but
other
why?
stuff.
But why? Right?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's it's censorship again. It's just why are we why are we just pandering to these fucking
No,
same people?
I'm with you, but I'm from the owner's point of view. They're probably thinking, let me just post that stuff because the city.
I mean,
took a hard
honestly,
hit,
I
man.
haven't seen anybody that hasn't been, anything in the whole month of June is just,
Yeah,
it's
right.
just all pride shit, and it's just all like, so that's the only thing you can really, that you're only seeing. The only thing they're posting right now is it's got to be about, dildos, same sex, and fucking debauchery of, heterosexual is just gone for June. That's just what it seems like to me, But again, so back in the day, right, in the city, right, you had a guy come beg you for money, you tell him to go scratch his ass, you walk away, he just call you a fucking bunch of names as you walked away.
Right.
Now they continue to walk with you and harass you for a block, 2 blocks, throw
really?
things at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that's the difference.
Really?
That's the difference. You used to used to be able to shoo a guy away and
Right,
continue
right.
on your way. Now they follow you, they throw things, they
Wow.
just,
And then you'll get in trouble for defending
and you get in
yourself.
trouble if you turned around and knocked them out. Then you're
Right.
the one that's going to get in trouble.
Jeez.
So, that's what's going on in the wonderful Manhattan, which is a shame. But I mean, I guess it's gone up, and it's always gone through these phases, right?
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's always gone through these
The
phases.
history repeats itself,
Yeah.
and I didn't grow up in the city, but I remember what was going on in the 70s. Since I was growing up in the 70s, and from the looks of it, and even in the early 80s, still, before it got all cleaned up, but that's kind of what I compare it to. But you'd like to think you'd like to think things are going to settle down. I mean, we need more time from the shutdown of 2 years ago.
Well, that's the
We
thing.
need
So
more time to-
when I went to March Madness, right? When no, not March Madness. It was the Big East tournament in March at the Garden.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, we took our 2 sons, and the kid's 9 years old. So we go in, and then we're leaving. It's about 9:45, and the difference is you come out right in the middle of Penn Station, 33rd, 7th, and 9:45 at night. There weren't a lot of people on the streets.
Sure.
Most of the people on the streets were the vagrants, right? That was never the case, right? So the thing with the city was there was always stuff going on, but there was always a lot of people, right? So you were
Right.
kind of protected because there was
Yes.
that much going on.
Yes.
Now it wasn't so much. So I've walked the city all hours of the night, all hours of the morning. I used to go to, you go out, you come out after hour, whatever. And I always stayed aware, never really concerned.
Right.
It's a different feel now.
Yeah,
I was there and I'm a little like, you're concerned. Like there's nobody on the street. Now I know why a guy jumps between 2 cars and does it because you're not protected by the thousands of people just constantly. In the middle of Times Square at 10 o'clock at night, it's maybe 25% of the people that used to be there.
Wow.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And most of the people that are there are the vagrants.
Yeah.
And that's where I see the difference. The difference is that there isn't that much activity on the streets like it used to be. You can have a stretch of the city. You be driving at 10:30 at night, and it's like you look like you're driving through Levittown. There's nobody on the streets.
Wow.
And that was never the thing with the city.
Right,
And I
especially
think
Times Square.
Right.
It's like
and
3
I think
o'clock
you
in
were
the afternoon,
protected
all
by
day long.
that, right?
Yeah.
So when there's
Yeah.
100,000 people walking down the street, the guy is just going to jump out and stab you in the back in front of 1,000 people. But when there's nobody there, he's like, hey, it might be a good idea,
So, and did anything happen, or
No, well, you know what? We cried, but I yes.
you had to walk? You had to.
I had to walk. I
Don't
kept my
mess with
set,
me.
and but I had him. The kids were trying to walk in front of us. I said, "No, you got to stand right next to me." Which,
Mm-hmm.
2 years before that, before the shutdown, he wanted to walk a few feet in front of me, and oh my god,
Yeah,
it wasn't a
yeah.
problem.
Right.
Now it's like stay right next to me, and my head's on this swivel. Wow. I never, I was never like that. I mean, especially in certain areas. I mean, hey, listen, let's be honest. Every time you went past 116th Street, you were a little more,
Right.
And then it got cleaned up to the 125th, and then it's coming back down. But now it's like anywhere you go, there's the guy with a shirt
crazy.
with no shirt screaming at somebody. How are you?
All right.
Jeff is here. Come on, come sit.
There was a guy with a shirt screaming at somebody.
We're talking about the city. Jeff, Chris, Jeff.
How are you?
All right, what's that?
Nice to meet you.
So what's going on?
I have. How are you, pal?
Hanging in, man.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to be seen.
So, have you been in the city much? We're talking about
last
the
time I
craziness
was
of the
there?
city.
Last time I was there was maybe a month ago. Yeah, I went to Billy last month.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So it was a brief Manhattan visit. Nothing,
Right. So you didn't really go into the streets.
No.
Right, because that's where saying how nutty it is there.
Yeah.
But but you like the nuttiness. You're down with.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just joking.
Why not,
I was teasing Chris. There's a drag show here on Saturday. I'm saying that he's going to be there, but
I just might go. I mean, it seems to be the fucking
He's
rage.
dressed in drag before.
Yeah,
so,
it seems to be the rage.
only for you, honey. Only for you. So you went to see Billy?
yeah.
How was that?
Excellent.
Yeah.
As always. Never disappoints. And he changed things up like mid-show. He goes, what? I'm not doing that one. I'm doing this one instead. So,
Oh, really? Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
it was good.
Did you see who opened for Billy a few weeks ago?
Opened for him?
Opened for Billy a few weeks ago, and
so this is-
I'm not talking
so
about the
wasn't-
garden, pal. I'm not talking about the garden.
Oh, you mean you? Yes.
Nice.
But,
Yes.
at our old high school, Hicksville High
yeah.
School, they were dedicating they're naming the theater after a music teacher.
Okay.
And I had this music teacher, so I was fortunate enough that they asked me to speak.
Nice.
So I went up there, gave a speech, and
Which is very good, by the way.
Oh, thanks, pal. Appreciate it. I was nervous as can be, man.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like acting and doing theater, I've been doing it since high school. I could do it with my eyes closed, but and then you look back, like we're talking about Truson with the comedy class, or high school when you did a play, like the people that help you along the way, like you don't really, if you think about it, you don't really get an opportunity to really thank these people, So to actually go up there in front of an auditorium full of people to thank this man for having a big part in even a gig like this. Right. It all goes back. So I was nervous to see him sitting there, and it was kind of weird. But but I did a speech. The superintendent that was kind of moderating the event, she comes up. She's thank you, Tony. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Billy Joel, and the place went nuts. Nice. And here comes Billy. Holy shit!
Did you guys know he was going to be there?
I actually did know he was going to be there, but I was so nervous. God's honest truth. I was so nervous about doing this that I forgot. I forgot all about it. I honestly did forget.
Kept him backstage.
Yeah, he was in his own separate area. The teacher that we were honoring, his daughter, I saw them the night before, and I was talking to his daughter, and his daughter's really down to earth and cool, and I forget how it came up, but Billy's name came up, which it always does for this poor man. He can't do anything in life.
Can't do anything on Long Island without.
Actually, I think that's what we were talking about. That's what it was, because we were going to do something in here with him. They were going to do this dedication to him 2 years ago but the everything shut down, and at the time he was going to be here for a few days, so we were going to set something up where he was going to come in here and talk about his career and whatnot. So, but this time he was only in for 2 days, so we couldn't make it happen. So that's what it was. I said that the daughter said to me, "Oh, he would have loved to have been in, to come in and do the interview." And, too bad it couldn't happen. And I said to her, I go, and just so you know, I was not going to talk about Billy Joel the whole time. And I said, you can't avoid it, obviously, but I was going to talk. I mean, this is a man that had an impact on thousands of people. That's why they're naming this auditorium after him. And she looked at me, she goes, "Oh, thank God." She goes, "That's all he gets is, people would just want to talk about Billy Joel." And that's what I said to her. All right, so tell me the truth. Is he coming tomorrow night to the ceremony? She said, "Yeah, he'll be there." She goes, "But you better not freaking tell anybody." And she would have kicked my ass, and she had some hotness. So I was like, all right, I won't tell anybody.
You win.
Yeah, the hotness always wins.
Yeah.
Hotness always wins.
You would have liked the ass kicking, though.
I would have.
So
I know you.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
The last time I'd seen him a few years ago, he was at the Garden. He was he almost canceled it, and because he had gotten Bell's palsy.
Oh, no kidding, really?
And he did the show. And they was almost going to cancel it.
But he did do the show?
He did do the show, yeah.
Could you tell?
You know what? I don't know. I was high. So,
Bottle of red, bottle
I
of
was pretty much singing the same way, I was pretty high. We were pretty high. But yeah.
That's fantastic.
And he soldiered on, man. He's a soldier.
That's funny.
He's a soldier.
That's great. And now tonight you're going now. Yeah. So what is going on here? So I emailed you the other day. I said, all right, are we still on for Thursday? You're like, yes, but I can only stay for an hour because I'm going to see McCartney tonight. Like, what do you need to get a nap? Or you need to get a manicure? Like, what is going on here?
50 now, but no. And a manicure, I think you know me better than that. What are they going to do? Take 5 minutes and two nails?
Where is he at MetLife?
MetLife. Yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I just gotta get crap done around the house. I got 2 days off. I've been,
Oh yeah.
working doubles and stuff like that, so I haven't been home much. So.
So you got do your husband duties.
A little list of things I gotta get done.
Are you bringing the missus?
No, she's not gonna go. No.
Wow.
She was gonna go, but our little girl's graduation is tomorrow at Fort Plain. So.
Very nice.
Kind of prepared and ready, and I get that. I get that. So.
Well, congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice. Wow, time flies, man.
I know.
Remember when she was born?
Yeah, me too. I was there actually.
When
Were
she
you
was
there? I didn't see you there.
Maybe a conception. I
didn't see you there either.
I was the guy taking the pictures.
Yeah.
So, and what do you think? You think Ringo's showing up? Because Paul turns 80 in a couple of
Paul's
days.
2 days away from 80. So,
you think Ringo's showing up?
Was just playing in Pittsburgh.
He's in the area.
He's kind of in the area. He was in Pittsburgh, I think, yesterday or the day before, but then I think tomorrow or the next day he's in Massachusetts. So he's got to kind of
and that would be a nice little turn of events for me because of what happened when I went to see Paul in Liverpool in 18.
Yeah, what
I
happened?
figured, well...
Oh, you figured because
I
it's
figured
Liverpool?
we're in Liverpool seeing Paul McCartney, his backyard.
Yeah.
Ringo's got a show.
No.
No. The day I flew home, we went down to London for a couple of days to tool around there. The day I flew home, he was playing, I think, was it Wembley that night or O2 Arena, whatever it was. I think it was O2 Arena. Ringo and Ron would show up at that show.
He would, huh?
Yeah. So my wife goes, "Oh, you should have told me. We would have got tickets for that show too." I go, "Don't. Do not." But I mean, come on.
You figure Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I figured is
If not Ringo, John Lennon, maybe.
Now that would have been something. Yeah.
Something.
Then I would have thought I was high. But no.
Wow. So yeah, that's now
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And I know. Yeah, that's what all the Beatle freaks are saying. Oh, Ringo's going to be there tonight.
I wouldn't count on it.
I was surprised that he's not playing closer.
I was just gonna say I didn't see anything about him coming to New York. Usually he does the Beacon or something like that.
Well, Ringo did the beat.
Ringo
does
but
the
Paul.
Beacon, yeah.
I figured Paul would play the Garden or
Yeah,
something.
I was Ringo. Oh well, this is all outside stadium. This tour.
Yeah, most of
is
the time
that
he
what it
does.
is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's.
And he's only doing 13 shows.
Yeah, he's-
Tonight's the 13th show, and he's
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know
This
that
could be
either.
this could be a big
of
one.
this leg. He's not doing world tours anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fuck,
That was
the
the
guy's
last one
80.
I saw. The one I saw in Liverpool.
Right.
And I was kind of, we had floor seats, which, the prices between the U.S. and everywhere else in the world for tickets, I didn't pay a lot of money for those the floor seats in England.
Really?
No, I didn't pay a lot at all.
No kidding.
Pound conversion, whatever, it's negligible. And I was like, I can't believe I got the floor. I was sitting in a section behind his family.
Yeah.
So they're all got the signs walking around, Paul McCartney and family, whatever. So in the bathroom, taking a leak, there's people in the know.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but as Paul said, he's not doing any more world tours after this. I was like,
Buy as many tickets as I can.
Put this thing away. Well, then I can understand because of his age, but I'm still. I want to hear more about the prices. So they're not that bad in other parts of the world.
No, I think I paid. I think it was 158 pounds a ticket.
So that would be a little over $200, right?
Just a little over, maybe.
Or, yeah, probably high
little over.
200s. Yeah. Which floor seats for any place here. I mean, Billy Joel at the Garden for the nosebleeds are like $100.
Yeah, basically that's probably that's like real price.
Yeah.
Real ticket price, right? Because are you familiar with Tedeschi Trucks Band?
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So huge fan. So they do the Beacon every year.
Yep.
And I was on a fan club, and it was one day the pre-sale came out, and it said, "Oh, we're giving away the band's holding 5 sets of 2 tickets for every show in the first 5 rows." You can't resell them; they'll take them from you. It was like a lottery. So I was like, fuck it. I put my email in, and it was pick the night. It was October 1st, which is my birthday.
Oh, nice.
I wake up in the morning and I won.
Nice.
So I get this email, right? So I get the email. So basically, the tickets were $150. So first 5 rows, that's the legit
That's nice.
price.
Yeah.
That's the legit price, right? Come showtime, once the scalpers get them, now they're 800, 900.
Yeah.
But like everything else, you know what? You get nervous and you pull the trigger, right? If you fucking wait to the day before the thing day, those tickets always come. You're like, how many times you sitting there and you're like in the place, and then
Trust
you look and you're like, motherfucker, this guy just
Yep.
bought those for $100.
Well, we're on the
I
show.
paid
I'm going to have to
$350.
go on Ticketmaster at
Yeah.
12 o'clock because Foo Fighters are doing a tribute concert
Right.
in They're doing L.A.
And
and
England.
London.
Yeah.
Can't do London. Can't do an overnight to London. That's crazy. So I'm going to try and get that. We had London tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was supposed to be going to the show at the end of the month.
Oh, wow.
And then Taylor had to go up and die. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
terrible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they
Forgot about that.
they're doing first come first serve to people who had tickets to that show.
Oh,
and stuff,
wow.
But I can't do the London one. So at 12 o'clock, I got to get on Ticketmaster.
What is
and
it?
try and get the
Today or
Los
tomorrow?
Angeles show today.
Oh,
I was
today.
gonna say at 12 o'clock. I'm gonna be sitting here going like this. Actually, 10-2 to get in the queue.
I did see they got a good lineup of guest stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Get an overnight to L.A.
Is he still making you show vaccine cards?
No.
No?
Good, because that's when I told him. That's when I was done.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Now all that crap seems to be done now.
Yeah,
Even
well-
flying, you don't have to get a
Yeah.
test to come back to the country, which is cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, we're too worrying about renaming monkeypox.
Oh, are they renaming it?
Yeah, it's offensive. It's offensive.
Oh, it's offensive.
Yeah.
Oh, if somebody didn't diddle a monkey would be okay.
Right.
Talk about
Right.
this.
Or, if the word monkey has you personally immediately think of a certain group, you might be the racist.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's you. I mean, what about the chickens? Are we getting rid of chicken pox? That's
Right.
offensive to chickens.
People who are scared of stuff, it
Again.
offends them.
And that's what's running around. It's either vagrants or those types of people running around Manhattan.
I'm short. I'm offended.
I'm short. That's what I said.
I'm vertically challenged. I don't like smallpox.
Which brings me back to the last time I was in the city, right? So
Yeah.
like I said, there's always some guy with no shirt fucking screaming in the middle of the alley on every block. So I was walking down the block and, some guy screaming on this side, and I hear some guy screaming as I'm walking, and as I walk past him, and he's just screaming randomly. He's like, fucking midget faggot! And I just like, I turn around, I go, oh!
Talking to me.
What makes you think I'm a faggot? I was like, hey, that's offensive. What makes you think I'm a faggot? No, I'm small.
Maybe you just said Tourette's.
But this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We're not worrying about, everything else in the world, like $7 gas, everything else.
Yeah.
We're worrying about renaming every
Yeah.
fucking thing that's out there.
It kills me because we've always had these people. It's just
We're letting them.
We didn't
right.
pay
We
attention
didn't give
to
a
them.
shit about them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
We just told them to get along.
Well,
or we just ignored it.
Or
Stop your nonsense.
Or we
Right.
stopped punching people in the face. I keep going back to this, right?
Yes. You
Right.
did,
So
you said that last time.
you knew the line, and you crossed it. You got punched in the face. Said, "Okay, that's the new line. I'm not going to cross that line." Now we don't punch anybody in the face anymore. You're not allowed to punch anybody in the face.
Yep.
So everybody's just thinking, they run around and keyboard. Like, I'm going to make a shirt that says "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but everybody shuts the fuck up when you punch them in the face." And that should be the fucking new credo that everybody lives by.
Yep.
It's just this is what's going on, and we're letting this little fringe amount because I think the social media. I think it seems. It inflates, I think, the actual
I agree with
numbers,
that.
right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right? It's inflating the numbers, and everybody's
Oh,
just
yeah.
pandering to it. But I mean, what are we going to start changing every fucking word in the dictionary?
That's what gets me too, because you read about such and such is offended. This one's mad. This one. Meanwhile, I don't know a single person. What do you call these people? Social media warriors or whatever they're called?
Losers,
Well,
right? Because
okay.
at the end of the day, I have to think
That's offensive to people who lost.
That's fine, because fuck them.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody
now.
gets a trophy.
Right, yes.
But I think because if you got to think, all right, how much success or how much can that person get done in their life if they're that fucking fragile that words send them into this little shell? Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to get in life?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Where are these people? They're in certain places. But
They're in the basement.
Most of, at least in our world here on Long Island. Tell me if I'm wrong, but and it just seems like it's most people where no matter where they live, they're all laughing at all this. But meanwhile,
it's happening.
It's happening,
Right.
but it does seem like it's a very small percentage of people.
Percentage that everybody cowers to, and I believe we're getting to a point where it's we're going to cross that line. How do you get back? It's either
Right.
going to come back real fierce. I mean, listen,
It's gotta come back,
right? But
though.
we're changing all these words, right?
Yeah.
So again, I've been writing on this. I've been working on this material, and I know as a white guy comic, it's dangerous and it's kind of racy because it's people are just fucking so easily offended. But it all goes back to the N word, right? So it's like we're saying there's a word that certain people could say, certain people can't say, right? Now, I'm 48, half the music I love, listen to that I grew up on, it's in the lyrics. So I am no longer able to sing songs, right, because of it, right?
What music are you listening to?
Well, yeah, old school hip hop, any rap, right? But I'm just saying,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay,
But I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
so it's like, how do you say that there's a word that somebody can say and other people can't, right? If it's that offensive, because you move that into anything, right? Because then it became the B word, right? Instead of saying bitch, people call it the B word, C word. Instead of saying cunt, it's the C word.
Yep.
I mean, we can do this with every fucking word, right? So then when you go with that, well, when we say it's a term of endearment, well, you can do that with any word, right? Let's take motherfucker.
Yep.
Right? You could be like, I love that motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Right? Well, that motherfucker.
Well, that's the beauty
And
of the
it,
word.
or Reggie's wife found out, what a dumb motherfucker, right? So it's the same thing. Every word can be used a million different ways. But I think once we started letting this where this word is no good for this group, and this word's no good for that group, and this word's no good for that group, and this word offends that group, except for the the Italian. Call me Guinea all you fucking want. I don't give a shit.
Get offended.
Well, oh my God, you're a Guinea. You know what? I get offended, but I gotta go to work right now. So.
I actually did because in the Murder Mysteries we have a mob theme show, and I called a cast member a guinea, and it's not in the script. It was just kind of ad-libbing. Sure enough, somebody came up to me afterwards. Said, you shouldn't use that word in your shows. I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're like, apparently you're not a bricklayer.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised though how many times people will reach out to us and. Tell me about this show because as an Italian American, I'm worried that we're going to be stereotyped with your mob show. We get that a lot.
Now, okay, granted, that makes sense, right? But it's not like we're not shutting down the world because of it. But yeah, does it every now and then? Does it bother you that okay? And I've always said that I'm like, do we? Everything, if it's an Italian American thing, it's always portrayed like with some fucking kind of goons, mobsters. Okay, it is what it is, right?
Right.
But I remember, like, my mom, when Sopranos came out, like, she hated that show because she's like, it just makes us look like animals, dumb animals. I get it.
Yeah.
But again, we don't fucking shut the world down. We got so many other things. I got other shit I got to do in my life. Important stuff to do than worry about.
Yeah, I'm with
words.
you there. I'm with you there.
You know what I mean? But again, because no one's getting punched in the face, right? So you could say, and Mike Tyson told the guy as he was punching him in the face.
Right.
Yeah.
He told him.
That jerk had it coming.
Yes.
He did.
But that's what he said. He
dick.
goes, social media has created a world where everybody thinks they can say what they want without getting punched in the face.
Well, that's the thing. Social media is the problem.
It's
the world,
the problem.
Period.
Without a
It
doubt.
It's going to be this country's downfall, not the world's downfall.
The world's downfall,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
And then you get the CEOs of these social media companies
Don't even send their kids to these.
of Facebook and Twitter, and they want to control what goes out. So it's not free speech anymore either.
No.
Well,
It's
you
what
can.
they think is
And
okay. To
most
put
of
out.
these guys from Silicon, these big guys, I saw a documentary on it. Most of them send their kids to schools where there are no tablets, no phones. Everything's old school black because they know, and their kids won't do it, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with like charter schools, right? All these elite Dems that are against it, but then when you look at their kids, they're all sending them to private schools. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it's do as I say, not as I do. And, and this gives everybody a voice
Oh yeah.
to be as tough as they want, as rude as they want,
Yep.
without repercussions.
Yep.
I mean, listen, if somebody stood up to you, you might change your ways, but how, nobody's standing up to you.
No.
Because you can't. It's hard to tell my kid to punch a kid in the face. Like, no,
The school will call you up.
You get in
Yeah.
trouble. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
and then some of these parents are like, oh well, but that's bully's no good. I'm like, no, you need bullies because bullies will get toughened up. And I was like, and the thing that makes a kid cross that line is when he stands up to the bully. I was like, you're not even giving the opportunity now to stand up to the bully. It's like that's why they're getting because they're not standing up because they're not allowed. So it just continues and continues and continues and continues and continues. Right.
All right, but we talk about the Tyson thing. I mean, that Tyson didn't have any repercussions. For
No,
once.
it's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, he held back.
Oh,
You're taking a punch
absolutely.
from Mike Tyson.
He's the only guy that didn't fall down.
Even at his what is he,
held back.
late 50s at this point?
Mid 50s probably.
I think it's safe to say that we would still be crying like a little baby if we got a punch
I
from
think
him.
nothing happened because it was so obvious the guy was drunk and harassing him. I mean, it was
on
clear.
film.
It was
that
on
he was
film.
harassing him, and
Right.
he warned him.
But you would still think somebody would have said, "Well, Mike didn't have to use force."
No, I'm sure some people did.
But I'm just surprised it wasn't bigger in that sense.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yes, every morning. I'm surprised that's not bigger.
I'm sure
Son
that
of a
there's
bitch.
some people that did say that, and then you know what? Their kids are gonna be little pussies. when they grow up. That's probably some guy in a fucking salmon shorts. Well, he really didn't have to punch him. Like, what was the alternative? Just let the guy continue to chirp in your ear?
Right.
For 4 more hours.
For 4 more hours.
Yeah, right. I think Mike was right, and I loved it. And that guy was even after he got beat up, he was still trying to make a buck. What a dick! And it's a shame. I do love social media. I mean, it's a nice way to catch up with old friends and keep tabs on people. And
it's like everything else, right? It's got its
pros and cons.
Pros and cons, right? Yep. Unfortunately, we live in a world where probably 70% of anything is the negative is going to be drawn out of it than the positive, right?
Yes,
because we walk among stupid people.
Ain't that the truth? All right. Well, all right. So what? So you're trying to get tickets for this thing? So
I just joined the waiting room.
Nice.
Countdown
is
happening
now.
Yes, it's now.
So what do you get? So it's in L.A. and what you get a free flight. Jeff works for American Airlines, so you get a free flight out there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go standby for this if I'd buy a ticket.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, got to make sure we're standby. So if the seat's open, I'll get it. If it's not open, I'm sitting there waiting for the next flight. So.
Oh, was that all right that I said who you work for? It doesn't matter, right? Okay, I didn't think so. I was just double checking. Some people don't like that.
No, I'm in the waiting room.
Nice.
9 minutes left. Let's see what happens.
What are you now? So you go into this thing tonight? Do you look at like the set list or anything, or are you going completely surprised? You don't know anything about it?
No,
nothing.
Look at the set list.
Okay, there's something he does do something really well. The whole show's cool. It's Paul McCartney, but there's something.
Well, I know what you're going to say.
Oh, you do? You know? Yeah.
About what he did with John.
Yeah, with Lennon on the screen.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Favorite concert ever? Do you have one?
Nah, I can't.
All right. Give me top three.
Well, definitely Paul.
Yeah.
I think the Billy and Elton head to head was dynamite.
You think it was really head to head?
Well,
one of them was trying.
It wasn't the days when Billy was drinking.
Yeah, right. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
So, who knows? Maybe Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. Oh, that's interesting.
You know what? I have a friend that does a lot with the Pearl Jam, and he swears by their live.
Yeah,
by their live.
I've seen them once. It was dynamite, and it's just whenever they come, it's just hard to get tickets.
Yep.
And it's insane. Their prices get absolutely insane.
I saw them once too. They were good. They were really good.
That was probably 20 years ago. I saw them. I haven't since.
I can't believe how old we're getting. 1995, I saw Pearl Jam.
But
son of a bitch.
It's
crazy because the '90s grunge is considered classic rock now.
I know, right? Yeah.
Which to an old fart like me, I'm still like, that's new music.
Yeah.
Well, what's your three?
Oh boy, the Who in 1989. That was like their first reunion.
Yeah.
And I'm a Who fanatic. So that was a big deal for me.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't even. Yeah. I mean, it's
Paul, of course. Oh, you know what? Queen at the Garden.
Ooh, I would have
loved. But that was with Adam Lambert. Yeah. But still, those songs. And then I met Brian May backstage after.
Nice.
Which was one. I enjoy meeting. If I go to a show, I don't care if it's the Garden. I don't care if it's the park down the block. I like because we're on the stage too. I like going up to these guys. Nice job.
Oh yeah,
great show. And I do that here. I just enjoy doing that. So even if I meet a big name, I usually don't get. I just want to. I really enjoyed your show, or hey, I love this album, whatever. But a guy like Brian May, from Queen, I was starstruck when I met him. Him and Mike. I met Mike Rutherford from Genesis.
I met Paul.
Yeah,
a long fucking time ago when he did the Unplugged at the Ed Sullivan Theater before they let him in picked up.
Right.
My buddy was doing my buddy's father was doing the security.
Yeah,
so which by the way, he's Billy's private security guard.
Oh really?
Yeah. So Billy's.
Is he a gray-haired fella?
Gene and Tommy. Tommy is the gray-haired guy.
Because that's the guy who was with Billy at the school thing a few weeks ago.
Little chubby face.
Yes.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yes.
That's
in
Tommy.
fact, I can probably find the video and you'll see him in the background.
That's probably Tommy.
Wow.
Yeah. So but again, it's the same thing. And that was probably the one where, and I was young. I was like 22, but I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I've met lots of people because he was in the security business, and it's like, it's just like that respectful, like, hey, nice job.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Because I like when it happens to me, and I like if a conversation starts. I like talking shop about performing and music, comedy. I feel there's a lot of commonality
and
there.
That's a
but
tough, but that's a tough thing too, right? To just like a concert, like to say your best concert, right? Your top 3. It's like, they fall into different categories, right?
Yeah.
It's like musically or the experience,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Because
Yes.
one of the first concerts I ever went to was my uncle took me to the Stone Steel Wheels at Shea when I was
Nice.
15, which changed my fucking life.
Yep.
Right? Then the Stones at the Beacon on the Martin Scorsese movie.
Beacon.
That was,
Shine a
that
Light,
was the
yeah.
year, the Shine a Light, that was the year that was the last show that my buddy's father, when they had the Beacon before MSG took over.
Oh, okay.
Right? My first Grateful Dead show,
Oh, wow.
which was at Giant Stadium with Jerry, but that involved Hitchhiker, Acid, tickets to the wrong night. So that's like a whole. And I ended up coming home at like 2:30 in the morning, fucking tripping out of my mind.
Yeah.
And my father comes in my room, wakes me up. He's like, "You got to go." He didn't know I was at that show, and he's like, "You got to go to the show. Your brother and Glenn got 2 flat tires at Giant Stadium." I was like, I just fucking got home from Giant Stadium.
Oh, you had to go back.
So
to,
yeah, I had to go
John.
back.
Well, where were you living at the time?
I
You
was
weren't
living
out
in
here.
Queens. No, I was in Queens.
Oh, that's still
But
far enough. What the fuck?
experience-wise, ultimate experience. That's the best concert experience-wise, right? Without a doubt. I mean,
What-
it had everything.
Tell me about the acid trip.
Well,
I have never. So I have
well,
no
what
idea.
happened was we were on
nothing.
we were on the Cross Bronx,
Yeah.
and we were in traffic.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, his father is, and I think he's listening today, but his father, he had a masonry tile company, and he did work at Giant Stadium. So we were like 17. He's like, "Hey, I can get tickets to the Grateful Dead at Giant Stadium," and I was like, "Yeah, no." My older brother's like, "Yeah, I heard it's a really fun time." I didn't really know much of the music.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's do it. And we're on the Cross Bronx, and we're in like bumper to bumper traffic. And there's like this little car next to us, and they got like 4 people packed in. And the guy looks, he's like, "Hey, you guys going to the show?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're going to the show." And they're like, "We got this guy." So they picked up a hitchhiker, and they didn't really have room. So they asked us if we could take the guy. So we're like, "Yeah, jump in." So as we're driving with him, this guy ends up having like 300 hits of acid on him. Right?
Holy
I
shit.
shit you not. So as we get there, he's like, he rips off like 20 for, "Hey, thanks for the ride," and he gives it to us. So we show up at Giant Stadium, and there's this whole thing going on.
Oh yeah,
all
the
day
Deadheads
long.
are nuts, man. Yeah.
So we're like, all right, let's walk around. Yeah, let's take one.
Yeah.
Taking one. We're like, oh, this is pretty fucking cool, man. Shit's going on. We're like, oh, it's like a couple hours. Like, hey, take another one. We're like, all right. And at this time Sting was opening for them.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sting was opening for them, and now all of a sudden, you hear Sting coming on, and everybody's kind of making their ways to the stadium, and now we're like, all right, let's go. And now, like, we're really starting to, like, really fucking trip hard. And I was just like, things are going on, and everybody's funneling in, and I'm like, holy shit, we got to get in. And then we give the guy the tickets, and he's like, hey, man, these are for tomorrow night.
Holy
I swear to shit you not. So we were like, all right, what do we do? I was like, well, we have all these hits of acid. Let's sell them. And everybody's selling tickets, and we'll go to the show. If we like the show, we'll come back tomorrow. So we did. And then we get our way home, and then it's like I'm trying to fall asleep, and I'm seeing all sorts of shit in my fucking room. And my father woke me up. He's like, you got to go to Giant Stadium. Your brother's got 2 flat tires. And I was like, this is a fucking joke. I was like, I just came.
But you drove?
No, a buddy of mine picked me up. One of the guy's brothers picked me up. But yes, I did drive home.
Really?
Yeah. Like, again, we weren't pussies in the 80s and 90s. You
need to get punched in the face, and you need to drive while you're on
acid.
acid.
On fucking acid. It was you're more heightened. Musically, I think musically best was
Sting.
The Sting. No, it was the Allman Brothers 40th anniversary show when Clapton came out and played the whole second set at the Beacon.
Yes.
That was musical level. And Tedeschi Trucks is when I see them, they just keep getting better and better. Which, by the way, they're doing the Great South Bay.
Oh, are they?
July 11th.
I heard them something. Recently with them.
He's the greatest fucking guitarist. It's insane.
They just did the whole. They just put it out. The whole Layla album.
Well, they did the Layla album in its entirety at Lock-In,
right,
with Trey Anastasio from Phish.
Right, but they just released it.
They released it.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
It's great. Yeah.
So they just came out with this new conceptual album, which is really cool. But they just released like the first part of it. So it's called I Am the Moon. It's coming out in 4 parts. The first 5 songs, really good.
I love concept albums.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
such
great.
a nerd.
And then they're going to be out at the Great South Bay, which is it's amazing because that place pulls in some really
Yes,
good
they do.
fucking
Sally
headliners.
and I went one year and we saw Graham Nash there.
I mean, they're pulling Government Mule. They're pulling Blues Travelers.
Yeah.
They pull in some really heavy fucking acts.
Nice.
And then when you go there, you're like, I don't know if you know this, like this underworld pirate community in Long Island.
What do you mean?
Like people
Pirate.
live like as pirates, and they dress as pirates, and they are fucking pirates, and they're in Long Island, and they all show up to that festival.
Like Arg.
I had
the
legit old school wooden leg, like round with a peg.
So they'd
and a
let me
fucking
in.
mangy parrot.
No, you wouldn't.
Why not?
It's not an official old school wooden leg.
It's not wood, but I could get a wooden leg.
You have to shave it down and stain it so it goes down to more of a peg.
Like I would. Yeah, no foot allowed.
I never even noticed that.
You didn't know?
No.
You really didn't know?
No.
Really?
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Did I touch a nerve with the wooden leg thing?
No, I'm related to them. No.
It's legit. And this guy had a mangy parrot. And the first time we went, I went with my wife and my son. And my son was like 4 years old. And there's lots going on during the day. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, he's walking and he's ready. Like, and this guy, he's looking at the parrot. He's gonna touch the parrot. And I'm looking at him like, because there's this thing. I'm like, I don't think this guy's part of the festival. I was like, get over here.
You shouldn't know just like part of a
there's a
pirate festival or something?
There is a underground pirate community in Long Island.
And they're like stealing gold and
they think apparently there is, I'm sure there's ships abroad out in this ocean here that have but yeah, there's a fucking underground pirate thing going on.
The acid's still not.
No,
the acid's taking
I'm
effect.
telling you, man. You go July 10th. You go to Great South Bay.
I've been there. I don't
You never
remember.
saw the fucking pirate people?
I didn't see any pirate people.
There's pirate people. Google it. Google pirate
people Long Island.
Long Island. I would go Suffolk County.
They're a little weird out there.
Yeah, that 631's a little different.
County's
Man.
a lot
Pirate people.
Pirate people.
I'd look, but I can't navigate away. There's 2,000 plus
2,000 people. Jeez, I would have jumped on for you.
At least it doesn't say 3,000.
Pirate ships for sale.
Pirate community.
Porch piracy sparking a concern. Long Island porch pirates nab $800 in merchandise. Yeah, I'm getting all this. I'm getting porch pirate stuff all over the place. Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot.
I was like, what in the fuck is going on here? I had to grab my son. I was like, don't touch the parrot.
That sounds sexual. I want to touch my
what
parrot.
What the hell's going on? But they pull in some really good acts.
Yeah,
out
they
there.
do. They pull in
And
some
I
great
never
acts.
even knew. It's very impressive.
I saw Graham Nash there. The main guy from Men at Work, who's now touring with Ringo. He was there. He's good, actually. He's very good. Colin Hay. And, of course, all the blues bands. Yeah, it's a good time. I really enjoy that out there.
Yeah, and I like because each day is kind of different, right? So
Right,
they got,
yeah.
and then the Sunday was usually like that kind of like folk thing, which is weird because they got Tedeschi Trucks headlining that, but they're gonna be there with Los Lobos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the Wheels of Soul tour. Mm-hmm. Saturday's more that jam band style, which kind of TTB would fit into.
Yeah.
Friday's kind of like that reggae feel, But for a half-hour ride, it's right here. It's on the water.
yeah.
I was like, when I first moved out here, I was like, what is this? And we went. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yep.
Go
ahead.
Rock and roll. If you want to talk rock and roll concert, you get your concerts, like you said, different.
Yeah.
Different. But a rock and roll concert, Linkin Park was unbelievable.
Really?
That was a rock show.
Really, huh?
It was hard, heavy. Chester's vocals were insane. Dynamite.
Are they still out there?
Well, Chester's no
He's
longer
gone,
with us,
right? Yeah. So I don't know if they replaced him. I have no idea. I don't know much about those
You're not
guys.
replacing that voice.
No, I don't know much
it's like
about.
It's like replacing Chris Cornell's voice.
Yeah, you're not doing
in
it.
Soundgarden.
Right.
It's not
That was the
happening.
best. That was a Chris Cornell in my opinion. It was great. His best rock vocal.
Unbelievable.
Best male vocal in rock and roll.
I agree.
Without a doubt. I agree.
And Pennington was up there too, as far as having a good voice. I don't know much about
just
them.
the show itself. The whole thing. He was.
Really, huh?
But now with Chester Pennington, he did. There was this. Was it Kings of something? It was like a little gig.
Kings of Leon?
No, not Kings of Leon. It was. I forget what it was called. It was Chester and a bunch of other rock artists from big bands.
Okay.
And they all did a bit of their own stuff, and they covered other bands' songs. And Chester was able to emulate how those other lead singers sounded. So, I mean, he was like on the money.
Really?
With all these different, songs they played.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He's definitely a great vocalist. You know, unfortunately, he did what he did. It was terrible.
Him and Cornell, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What do you have? Is there a song you're hoping to hear tonight, or it doesn't matter? You're just happy to see Paul.
It doesn't matter. I mean, he's just in there. Everything he's
Everything
going
he
to hear
does,
from him.
yeah,
is,
it's going to be great.
I mean,
The band behind them, I remember when I saw
great
them,
band.
the
Yeah.
band behind them is
They're-
great,
they're
man.
cool.
They're just
Great
it's
drummer.
My
and
wife
it's
loves
nice
that
to be
drummer.
able to see, hear that music live that
Right.
that most
Yep.
people really never had a chance to, even back then, to
Right.
really see.
Right.
Right, to really have it come out alive on a stage,
My
they
aunt
never
saw
had that opportunity.
my aunt saw the Beatles at Shea, but she was all the way up. She said you couldn't hear a thing.
and it was on
Couldn't-
fucking it was like on a PA system,
Right.
I mean, it was just
Plus, they're down by second base. There's no screens.
Yeah.
They were this big.
it was just
Right. And again, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, but to have that come alive, and especially when he plays the songs that are a little bit later in the catalog that are more complex,
yeah.
and and a lot more musically fucking creative.
Yep.
To see that live is really really.
But
good.
all the stuff that he creates now, or his new stuff, it's all every instrument is him. He
Yeah.
doesn't use that
Yeah.
band in every
Right.
record,
No,
as far
no.
as I know.
Most of them,
He does all the instruments.
just like the tour, man. Just like Nine Inch Nails, right? It's just like they do all their
yeah,
stuff,
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then they then they get these studio musician guys who are some of the most talented guys, which people don't realize. Like
Oh, the
musician.
studio guys that sit
Yeah, they're
there.
some
What
of
was
the most
that?
talented guys out
What was
there.
that? Was it Amazon or Netflix? It was all about the about the studio sessions players.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name. There's a few of them actually, but
It
yeah.
was the one that I think that Liberty did, wasn't it?
Oh, that one, Hired Gun.
Hired Gun.
Hired
yeah,
Gun.
That was all about
Yup.
session
Yeah, all
players.
about
Man,
session
that
players.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
That
was
man,
an
and that
awesome
pissed Billy
documentary.
Joel off, man. That thing. I mean, that was like half of that movie is like, you may as well call it trash Billy Joel. They really did not portray him in a good light in that movie, and he was pissed.
Yeah,
But,
Hired
that's an
Gun.
interesting movie.
Yeah.
Hang on, that was good. And that drummer one I saw on Netflix, I think it was.
Yeah, there's a
all
bunch
the
of them
drummer.
now,
Yeah, it is good shit. I just saw the other night for the first time. I saw one with Keith Richards. And he was what the fuck?
Not the Chuck Berry one. The Chuck Berry one is good, but that's from the 80s.
No, this was a
Oh, that's
documentary on him. And there's a scene with the Chuck Berry thing is in there. But it's just about him and how his solo, like he was doing an album late in life, and we went back to the blues.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because you never how many people hear about it, how they met,
Right.
how they formed. I don't know if the way he tells the story is
What? How he met Mick?
well, he had known Mick
Yeah.
from a school, but hadn't seen him in a few years, and then ran into him on a train,
Oh yeah.
and and Keith Richards was listening to Muddy Waters and something else, and he saw Mick Jagger had the same album under his arm, and he was like, "You fucking kidding me?" He's like, "Come here, let's start, let's do a band."
Yeah.
He's like, "I didn't think anybody in London, even other than me, even knew who these guys were."
Right.
And it's funny because Muddy Waters does say he attributes that the Stones revitalized that blues
Oh,
in America.
sure. Yes.
Reintroduced the blues to
Absolutely.
America. Most people never would have
Right.
known
Yeah.
about.
Yep.
So fucking racist.
What did Paul McCartney say? Did he say Rolling Stones is a blues bar band or something?
Yeah,
like that?
just recently he said that. Yeah.
Oh, they
But of course, not meaning anything
no,
negative.
and
right?
they all they've always had their thing, and I think they do it it's in tongue in cheek with each other.
Yeah.
They've always
Yeah.
had. I mean, they had that competition to some extent because it was just natural. Two of the greatest bands.
It
at the
makes
same fucking
headlines,
time.
too,
I mean,
yeah.
how many? I mean, just think about that. Like that'll never happen
No,
again.
no
Something
way,
like
ever.
that. That much
No,
music.
no.
That
Never.
much talent. I mean, just to come out of that one fucking town,
Right.
just like one little area.
Yep.
It's like God was just like, all right, this is what I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it'll never happen again.
Never.
Well,
There's no
Liverpool,
way.
the Beatles also. That's where Elvis Costello is from, also.
Is he? I didn't realize that.
Graham Nash too.
Graham
actually.
Nash is yes, I
Didn't
am
realize
aware
that.
of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knew the Beatles as teenagers. Yeah. Our buddy Graham.
Yes. Yes.
One of the
Good-
nicest
good man,
men
that
I
Graham.
ever met.
He was dynamite. Yeah.
Really nice. Although I did try to get him on here. He said, yes, we're ironing out the details. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be phenomenal. Then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, what am I getting paid for this? I go, I'm sorry, I don't have a budget. Sorry, I won't do it. I wonder if it was him or one of his kids, but I've tried again since to get him on. Now he doesn't even respond. I was like, motherfucker. That would have been cool.
Come on, do you really need the money, dude?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, really?
Yeah.
He makes more in a week than I make in a year. You know, like it did. I was kind of pissed off. I was like, you need money?
Yeah.
Fucking kidding me? He's what? He's around 80. What do you got? 5 years left?
Right,
what are you doing? Right. Well, he's got a 30-year-old wife, so.
Well, to come here?
Yeah.
What the fuck is 300? I'm going to give you 300. What are you going to do with the $300?
Yeah, right.
Even I gave you 500. What are you doing with $500?
I actually think once because he's not the first one that demanded money, and I don't think it was him. I forget who I said it to. But I go. There's a Dairy Mart next door. I'll buy you an egg sandwich.
Yeah. Because
like I already knew the writing was on the wall. They weren't coming, so I typed that in just to be a dick.
Yeah.
I was like, you pricks. And like even here at Governor's, they got they bring in the soap opera stars sometimes, and they just do like a Q&A or whatever they do. These guys won't do a thing without getting paid. I'm like, just come on the show, talk for a few minutes, and promote your show.
Right.
Won't do it without demanding money. It makes me nuts, man. Stupid.
Speaking of the dairy porn,
yeah,
there's nothing better than the smell of 40 pounds of bacon cooking at the same time, though, right?
Late at night, you got to go there like 9 o'clock at night.
He's cooking it all.
It's like a big pitcher's mound of bacon. He's cooking it for the next morning.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Unbelievable, and everybody talks about it in here. Everybody just forget about getting high. Everybody's contact hunger.
Bacon high.
Yeah, bacon high.
It smells better than bacon cooking, man.
But it's so like I've never seen that before. I'm telling you, this
It's all flat top. Yeah, it's just got giant. Because when I would take the comedy class with Trues, I'd stop there.
Yeah.
Get a water, and he's like at 7:30, and he's just sitting there cooking loads of bacon. I was like, this is sick.
Just when I came in a park, there's a freaking line. Yeah, there's a line.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's like the only one around now. I don't know of any other ones around. Like the one on Jerusalem Avenue.
Yeah.
Next, as soon as 7-Eleven went up.
There's
that
one
was
in
the
Merrick.
Death for that.
On Merrick Road, like old school.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Dairy Barn. But that's not a real dairy. That's Dairy Mart. That's not
This
a
is
real
Dairy Mart. This is one. Yeah, this is just one guy.
Like
yeah.
the Dairy Barn in Merrick's got the
The stack,
thing,
right?
Yeah, the stack. Yeah.
Like the one. There was one Broadway down Hicksville Bethpage border.
Right.
Over there.
Yep.
They started reworking that building, and all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on there. I was like, wow, they're going to open something back.
There's one down by me in Massapequa, too. Same thing. It looked like, because it closes
there's
the Dairy
one in
Barn.
Massapequa over there, right?
But I think it's closed again.
I think it's closed again, yeah.
But,
car in there.
but when I first started working there, I thought for sure this place, because you got the high school right behind, I thought for sure, I'm like, this place has got to be selling drugs. Like, I mean, because you see the line. The line is insane. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then you start hearing about the bacon and how good. Even Sallie the other day, we did the show here, and then she was meeting a friend of hers for lunch. She goes, I'm just ordering egg sandwiches next door, and I'm going to meet her. Bring it. And she, everybody swears it. Talk about music. The Spin Doctors, Mark White of the Spin Doctors, the bass player. Well, he's not in the band anymore, but he lives in Texas. Whenever he comes up to do this show, he's like, you got to get me some of these egg sandwiches from this place. He absolutely
Nobody
loves
outside of the tri-state area knows anything about like the food up here. The heroes are like a hero.
Yeah,
they call it a sub, and a sub isn't even a hero. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, it's
nowhere
not.
near it.
It's not nowhere near.
You know.
Well, and that's an interesting
egg
topic.
Sandwich? What?
Right, which is an interesting topic too. Any desire to move out of here when you guys get older?
I fucking want to leave now.
Yeah,
do you?
Too.
Yeah,
you do. You want to go?
You know, look, there's no place like New York, Long Island.
That's
no
how I
place
feel.
Like it,
right.
You know?
So I don't want to go for really. Cause
I would need to be near water.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a beach rat or anything, but I like to have the option of driving 15 minutes like you do, and you're at the ocean with your family.
What are you thinking? North Carolina, Florida? What are you thinking?
Florida. Now, Florida's nice to visit. That's about it.
That's how I feel.
That's it.
I'm not a Florida guy.
No.
I think that's Florida's where I would be.
That's where you
I
go?
got family. My father's down there. My aunt,
all right,
uncle's
that's
down.
different.
I got a friend who's been down there for 15 years. You know, if I'm gonna go down, I don't want to still have to deal with 40-degree. You know, just at North Carolina, you can still, you're still gonna get a winter and shit like that, right? Yeah. Because, I mean, I do believe though in the summertime, there's nothing better than the north than where we are, right, Long Island.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, the Northeast is great because living where we live, right, in the winters, if you're a skier, you can go a couple of hours.
You get all
north,
4 seasons. Legit.
You get all 4 seasons,
right? Which I love too.
It's just the cost of living, the fucking the people, and just we just. It's not a, I mean, we're in our little pocket of maybe like-minded thinkers, but, for the most part, it's just everybody's living in some fucking fake utopia. Like, it's like
but
a
you
fantasy
think
land.
By going to Florida, you think you'd escape that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'll fucking, just be a little bit, it's a little bit more. I mean, at that point, then like, I will get the boat. We've been always going back and forth, boat. And then my wife's like, and I'm like, every year, and I'm like, thank God I didn't get it. Every time I look out my window, and I'm down by the water and sea. But every time I look out the window, I get who's still scrubbing his boat. It's not in the water, and then they get it in there, and it's out in 2.5 months.
Right.
So I get it.
Boats
right?
and pools.
But if I want to,
if
I want to get the boat, I'd be down there.
You could enjoy the boat more down there. Yeah.
Plus, it's like just that state tax, and just keep a little bit more of my money right now is just the goal. But my son's 9. She goes, she doesn't want to leave just yet. But
Well, I was just gonna say with kids though, there is no education anywhere in this country like in Northeast, especially the tri-state area.
Right.
I
There's
agree.
no
Right,
education
that
better
you're gonna get
than
anywhere else,
Yep.
unless you go for a private.
There really, yeah,
Right.
yeah, there really isn't.
And then even in for me the special needs world, the education for my daughter here is just miles above anywhere else. That nobody in the country has. In fact, I'm wearing the shirt. Nassau County PAL, the special needs unit. The cop that runs our PAL, he went to a nationwide PAL conference just 2 weeks ago. He said he didn't, because we're the first ones. Nassau County was the first one to have a special needs division. But he came back from this thing. He goes, we still might be the only ones. He goes, I didn't see, there was no other special needs representative there. He goes, maybe they just didn't go to this thing. He said, but there was no talk of it, no mention. Because we may still be the only ones in the whole country with a special needs division. So New York is, it's miles
Definitely.
above.
absolutely.
And healthcare too, not for nothing.
Yeah,
Doctors
well,
and
yeah.
hospitals and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
yes.
You're not getting anything. I mean, you got your specialty ones that are famous throughout the country.
Right, but here's where you
they're
go.
just in this one location up in New York.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, this is where people come from other places.
You got the top
Right.
hospitals here.
I mean, me and my wife were discussing the other day. We were trying to send we put my son in like fucking military school or boarding school, but the boarding schools are like $50,000. Yeah. But they're all up in the Northeast. They're all here.
Yeah.
But they're like $50,000. I'm like, well, how much is military school?
Right.
Because he's a prick. He's 9 and he's such a prick, man.
So what do you think?
9, you said?
He's 9. He's gonna be 10. You know why?
Because you
What
can't punch him in
can
the
I
face.
do? I can't punch him in the fucking head.
You can't do that.
You
I'll
can't
call
do that
Child
anymore.
Protective
So
Service.
right,
The kids will say, "I'll call Child
Yeah.
Protective Service." Okay, then you're gonna go live with somebody
I know
else.
kids that have called 911 on their
Yeah.
parents.
And you're
I
gonna
know
go live
kids
with
that-
somebody
yeah.
else. You're not gonna live with mommy and daddy anymore.
That's
You know,
right.
granted, if they're abusers and doing
That different
that's
story.
right. I
story,
said it once.
but get a little spank on the ass. Or
I
something.
said it
mean,
once to
come
my
on.
father. He's like, "You better call the ambulance first and then them because
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you." But yeah, it's just but everything's up here, so it's like when he's done, I would like to be out of here. I would maintain a maybe summer here,
Back and forth.
I mean, I'm getting older. I love the city. I'm a city guy. I'm not in the city all the time anymore. I'm not like going out till fucking 4 a.m. anymore. So it's starting to lose I've sucked everything out of it almost that I can, not all of it. But to enjoy the Long Island part of it, it's like, all right, if I live on the water, near the water, I want to have the boat. But then I'm like, the expense, and then it's 3 months, and it's just always something.
Right.
And then during the pandemic, a few neighbors ended up buying boats, and it's like a nonstop bill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do this to maybe be out on it 12 times out of the year, it's not worth it. But if I'm down somewhere where I can use it more.
daily.
And how much is gas for a boat? Is it
No,
any different?
now
for
the water?
water
Forget
now
about
it's
it.
got to
It's
be almost
more?
$750.
Yeah. Wow.
But now forget about all that stuff. Healthcare,
Yeah.
education, seasonal, activities.
Yeah.
The fucking food, dude. You're not beating it.
Right. Well, that's
You're not beating our
that's-
food anywhere in this country.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not doing it.
Well, if you go, so now if you do Florida, right, and if you go from that West Palm to Lauderdale, it is because so many people transplanted from up here. They
Right.
forced the issue, right? So years and years, I remember my father and when they first were down there, and they were snowbirds. There was no Boar's Head. They didn't have Boar's Head. And then everybody from New York started going down there. And they're like, I want fucking Boar's Head. And Boar's Head got his presence there. Now
Really?
We're down where he is. And, he's down in West Palm. And then my uncle's in Boca. And my other buddy. Now, there's Carmine's, which is like your Uncle G's.
Right,
There's that kind of place. And now the guy's blowing up. He's got like 5 of them. So, because it's all people from New York that want that. that want that they got bagel stores flying in the water down there now. Pizza stores flying in the New York water.
But it's so that's the thing, the New York water. So
Well, I was
that
gonna say,
yeah,
exactly.
because
But it's like you said before, right? Like you said before, nobody knows. You order a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. They look at you like you're fucking.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did you come?
Yeah.
What does that
Yeah.
even mean?
Oh yeah.
Like not a roll. Put it on a bagel.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even fit. It doesn't make sense.
Not supposed to.
Right? It's not supposed. It doesn't make. There's a hole in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking fall. Just fucking put it in the bagel.
Trust me.
Trust me. It's just wrap it up tight.
But every couple of months, I got to send. My sister lives in Florida, and every couple of months, I got to go to North Shore Farms, get twisted semolina bread,
And send it down.
plastic it up, and I overnight it down
Right.
there.
Yeah, I don't.
Cut
You
it
know
all
what?
up
Tell
in
her
one
to,
piece.
tell her to
food
check
to it.
out Goldbelly.
Where is that though?
Goldbelly.com.
Oh, okay.
So Goldbelly it's a service now, and what they do is there's like these iconic spots throughout the country that when you go to Chicago you gotta have this. When you go to New York you gotta have this, and they now provide the services. They ship it frozen, and it's like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, now you bring Chicago. Everybody compares. New York pizza, Chicago.
Nah, fuck Chicago.
It's two different fucking pizzas.
It's not even a pizza.
I've never been to
really
Chicago.
not.
It's a focaccia to an extent, but it's really not. It's really
like,
not.
oh, ours is bad. You can't compare.
No,
Really?
you can't compare.
Yeah.
There is no comparison.
No.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
But my buddy who
It's like a mozzarella pie.
yeah.
With some
That's what
sausage
everybody-
or pepper. It's,
Well, my buddy lives in Vancouver now, and he's from Bayside, and because of the pandemic, it's been home almost 2.5 years, and he's just snapping. He's just like, I need a bagel,
Right.
piece of pizza.
Yeah.
So now the Goldbelly thing, I guess, because it's food, they can't ship to Canada. Because I was gonna surprise him for his birthday. I was like, I'm trying to get you this shit. I was like, the only other option I got is I do it myself, wrap it. But I was like, but then I'm gonna get arrested. Especially Canada's fucking losing their minds right now. I was like, now with that guy running the country,
Damn.
I was like, you get me arrested, but
They won't ship food.
they won't ship. Like it's, I guess it's some sort of.
Even if you FedEx it.
I guess it's the same thing, right? Because somebody from like South America can't send you a fucking thing of fucking peaches, right? Because it's that whole agriculture thing. Yeah.
issue. Yeah.
Although back in the '80s, my parents did come home from Italy with a whole fucking leg of prosciutto.
Oh,
Really?
From the family farm,
man.
yeah. And my mother gave the guy at customs just a big bag of olives, cheese, and meats, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." It's like '89.
Wow.
Those days are over.
Yeah,
Those
long
days are
gone.
long over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He goes, I remember I was a little kid. He goes to my father, "What's in the bag?" He goes, "Kathy." And he looks at my mother. He goes, "Kathy." He just pulls out this bag of shit, olive cheese. The guy's like, "Go ahead." It was like a 70. I swear to God, we had this thing hanging in my garage,
Wow.
and we would just, as kids, we'd grow up with playing wiffle ball, and then every night you get hungry, you go in with a meat cleaver, and you just cleave in the fucking. It sat in my garage for probably 2.5 years, just hanging, and it was from my mother's family's farm, like the pig from the
Yeah.
farm, the whole fucking leg.
And it stayed okay. Like
Yeah, well, it's cured meat. It stays forever, right? That's what it does.
Yeah,
It keeps
okay.
aging and aging, and we just meat cleave pieces of it, just rip it off like animals. Like, what the fuck? Like, this just doesn't happen. No, it's not normal.
that's the stuff
Like,
I miss, man.
Yeah,
I
I am a
miss
fucking
crazy stuff
guinea.
like
Yeah. I'd rather be a guinea. This is what guineas do.
That's it.
Fucking pear knives and fucking prosciutto, no problem. Yes, I'm a guinea.
That's the name of your comedy special. Yes, I'm a guinea.
Yes,
That's
I'm a
a
guinea.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yes, I'm a guinea.
And then the second, or the first one, not enough people to punch in the face, or
Yeah.
something with punching in the face.
Well, I'm the guinea. You're the pig.
Yeah, that's good too. That works.
Right? That one
Did you get through yet or what?
Still 2,000 plus ahead of me, but the Q bar has moved down quite a bit.
All right.
I got this much left.
That is going to be a big seller.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah. That,
Today's only pre-sale.
Yeah, I
Tomorrow's
would.
general public.
I wish you would have told me. I would have jumped on.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Who's
Give you 2 people.
who are some of the people that are joining them in that thing?
Oh man, it's an insane line. I can't navigate away from the screen. It's
Oh, all right. I'll
but
look.
yeah.
I'll look.
Yeah.
The only person that I remember off the top of my head was Van Halen's son.
Yeah, Wolfgang. There's a whole. It's gonna be pretty insane.
They
It's
would
gonna
do
be
that
something
by
to see.
accident, though.
I know, right?
You want to kill yourself.
Yeah, they're like, don't navigate
Oh.
away from the
Like,
screen.
oh my God,
I'm
I'm back to 4,000.
Miley Cyrus.
Oh God, she's on there now.
Nice. Should put the tits out.
Not sure why.
Well, if that's the only reason I.
You know what? Other than the real trash, but if voice wise, she's got a really
Great
good
voice. No,
man.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
she's
agree.
got a really good voice.
Let's see. I can't. Oh, Queen is doing it.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette, Joan Jett.
Well, yeah, definitely. Alanis is going to be there. He's their drummer.
Yeah, right. Gene Simmons. That's cool.
Whoa, nice.
Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Stuart Copeland from the Police. Members of Motley Crue. Members
of Motley Crue means not Tommy Lee and Vince.
Right. It does. It says Nikki Sixx.
Yeah. Okay. Nikki Sixx. Like, who didn't want to be him back in the day?
Queens of the Stone Age, Rage Against the Machine band members. Nice. Oh, that's a good show. Wow. Just Queen alone would be good. Oh, so it's different people in each place?
It might be. Yeah.
At Wembley Stadium, that show, Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And Liam Gallagher. Oh, the 2 surviving members of Rush are going to be at the England one.
Yeah.
Chrissy Hind. I still want to bang the shit out of Chrissy Hind. She's got to be in her 70s. The Pretenders.
Uh-huh.
She's got to be in her 70s. She's one of the sexiest women ever.
Speaking of that, I did see a
You banged her,
documentary
didn't you?
on Fleetwood Mac, and man, was Stevie Nicks a fucking piece of ass.
Oh my God,
Holy
she was.
shit.
Oh,
She was a head turner. Like she was an angel.
She was insane
in her prime.
Yeah.
And she was banging everybody in her prime.
Too bad.
She was snorting everything and banging everybody.
I would have been a great 70s rock star. I love all of that. I love everything you just said. I'm into it. I'm into all of it.
And I still, Stevie Nicks still looks fantastic.
Yeah,
to
she
me.
still looks good.
I mean, she's 70 something.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow. And is the radio show still going?
No.
Oh.
No.
Are we allowed to ask what happened or no?
Well, he was getting a little nervous about legality issues, copyright issues, or whatever, stuff like that.
Was he feeling pressure from somebody?
He was reading some stuff over there where in Europe they were cracking down on it.
Really?
They were looking, but, everything we got was out there on the internet. We weren't,
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, I have the same problem here. It's all out on the internet, but I get copyright claims on stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It's freaking annoying as can be.
Yep.
If we wanted to pay the fees and be a part of iHeart, in fact, this station before I was here were a part of iHeart for a while. Then you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
But it's expensive, very expensive. Yeah, it's insane. It makes me nuts.
Yeah, that's the thing. It would have been,
So he shut the whole station down?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, man.
It probably would have been a couple thousand a year to
Right.
do it, which isn't a lot, but we're not getting paid. We were doing it to entertain people during a pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Who were home, locked down, especially over there in Europe. They were locked down for quite a bit of time.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
it was more about just having fun and the fun of music, because music, it makes everybody happy.
Yeah, it makes
That's right.
everybody
Makes
happy.
everybody
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear
so
that.
that's why
pal.
that was about. But
Wow.
in fact, my last show, so see what you're saying is you haven't even tried listening in a while. That's what I just got from this. It took a minute.
Yeah.
Why? How long's it been?
It's been over. Oh my God, it's been quite a few months now.
Well, that's why I asked, because
what are we in now? What is this? June?
June.
Yeah.
So probably beginning of the year around there, sometime in January maybe.
No shit.
Yeah.
But you were here. It hasn't been that long since I've seen you.
It might be.
You were here
I'm trying to think when I was here.
right around your birthday. You were here, January.
Okay, so then we would probably finish in February.
Oh, okay.
Because it was still we were discussing.
You were still
it
on
around
at
there.
the time,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, I had I finally got
Late.
Johnny Van Zandt on the show
You did?
as a recorded message.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the lead singer of Skynyrd.
Yeah. Yeah. So
They were just at Jones Beach.
Yeah,
right?
they just came through. Yeah.
Which I was there. That was great.
Yeah, I heard it was
Oh, they're
good.
always
but I only
excellent.
went
The only
there.
time I ever saw them was with you.
Yeah. Always a good show.
Yeah, you
Great,
said my brother
great.
said it was.
Was
really
Washington on guitar, or is he?
No, he had
some medical
He's got
issues.
some heart issues. He had
Yeah.
some surgery, so he's still kind of it's taking a slow
I
recovery.
heard he was working
said.
his way back, but I
Yeah.
didn't know if he was back or not.
I think he was looking at maybe doing some spotty shows with them on
Yeah.
the tour, but he wasn't there for this
Oh,
one.
see, that would be disappointed if he wasn't there.
Yeah. but-
So, so how did you get him? And what did he say?
well, I did a cameo.
Oh, he's on Cameo.
Yeah.
The lead singer for
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner. How much did he cost?
$1.29.
Wow. Okay, that's not bad.
But if I asked him like way before, like the year before, I said, "Would you do a plug for the show?" But I guess it's got to go through Cameo, and they got to get their cuts.
Right,
So Cameo
yes.
was like, "Oh, you wanted to say, the Scales Rock are on Hitsville Radio?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's going to be $1,100."
Whoa.
I was like, "Yeah, never mind."
Right.
Wow.
Hey, again, we're doing a free show here.
Right. I got, when we first started this show, we got Ruth Buzzy to do
Oh man.
do one and mention our show. It was $15. This was Are you in?
Cool. 50. No, not yet.
Oh, yeah, $15.
1,179 people ahead of me.
And this was right around the time Cameo was just starting. But you go on now, she's like 150 or something. Now.
Really?
But we did get, and same thing. Bonaducci
years
was only
old.
50.
She's 150 years old.
Well, yeah, true. $1 for each year she's alive. But we got Bonaducci for only $50. And
Yeah.
same thing. He mentioned Gov's. Well, it was Gov's Radio at the time. Now it's Gov's
Yeah.
podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, we got Bonaducci.
It was a good message. I just said it because you get a 20-second, 20 seconds to do a video clip to send to him. This way he can hear you
Give me an
pronounce your
idea
name
what you-
properly and
right,
all that,
right.
and whatever. And so he sent the message back, and it was a long message. It was almost 5 minutes long.
Oh, that's cool.
And so.
That's
he
really
just
nice.
talked about a bunch of stuff in the middle. He's like, thanks for being a fireman and this and that. He even wore a fire department shirt for his recorded video message today.
That's cool.
So he was telling me stuff like that. So for the radio show, I cut that stuff out and just pieced
Right.
together because I said,
Yeah, why
what's
not?
Skinner doing, after the pandemic or whatever. So he talked about that, and I just pieced it all together,
Right.
and that's what I put on the show.
And that just reminds me, was it your birthday? You got that cameo from Randolph Mantooth.
Yeah, Johnny Gage.
Jeff's
Johnny Gage.
He's a volunteer fireman. He lives and breathes this stuff. He was in the fire. We were teenagers growing up in Hicksville. He was in the fire department then. So Randolph Mantooth from, what was it, Emergency 51?
Yeah.
And
SWAT 51.
oh, is that what it was?
Emergency, yeah, it was the show, yeah.
And yeah, that was a big show. We were
yeah.
kids. It was cool.
Yeah.
So same thing. He went on for like 5-10 minutes in
He
your
was a long
cameo.
message too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy
And you know what's
shit.
funny? Like my buddy Tony, who was doing the Hitsville radio.
Yeah.
He's the one that developed it. He's a huge Motown buff. huge. So I mean, so big that he flew over and he did the whole Detroit thing,
Oh,
and whatever.
nice.
And then I met him in Chicago, and we tooled around there for a day. So I was like, you know what? Let me get Smokey Robinson is on there.
Oh, really?
Smokey to do a cameo. I was going to get all our listening friends. Because we got friends. There were friends all over the world really listening to us. We had a big audience.
Please
for
tell me
a
you-
little cheesy radio station.
Please-
Hold on. No, you're going to be disappointed. I hate to say it.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Did you ask Smokey to say, but Dad, it's Smokey.
It's Smokey. But Dad, it's Smoke. Turn that down.
so you could, when you're on there, you can look at their past clips.
Yeah.
In full length.
Right.
Now, Smokey wanted $600.
You just took one of the existing clips.
$600 freaking dollars.
I love you,
And,
Tony, but
and
not
they
that much.
mention Your name, hey Tony, hey, your friends Jeff, and your friends wherever, put this together for you. So I was gonna have each of everybody,
Yeah.
donate a little bit of money and send it to me via PayPal, or whatever. And
Okay.
we're gonna do it. His freaking messages were 60 seconds, a minute long.
And you did raise...
His longest one. I had everybody that was going to do
Yeah.
it, but when I saw it, 1 minute and 10 seconds, I said, I'm not paying $600 for it.
Right.
I said,
No.
Absolutely.
I said, fuck Smokey.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck
Smokey.
Smokey.
Smoke this, Smokey.
Smoke this, Smokey. Smoke
Ladies
you
and
out,
gentlemen,
motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, smoke this Robinson.
I mean, $150 for Randolph Mantooth to see me 5 minutes. Johnny, $129.
Yeah.
And his was 5 minutes. I'm going to give Smokey $600 for maybe 1 minute and 10 seconds.
$10 a second.
I love my buddy Tony, but
shit.
I just to me it's like, come on, you're taking advantage now.
Absolutely. So who did you get for Tony?
Nobody.
Nobody.
That
You
was
gave
the only
everybody
goal.
their money back?
The only I didn't know, and they didn't send it to me yet.
You didn't get that
I
far.
was just
Okay.
coordinating the whole thing and getting it going, and finally I was like,
Fuck that.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Really? Now, do you I guess
Again,
some of
right,
them,
do you need the
they
money?
give it some to charity or whatever.
Sure.
But I'm sure not all. But come on, dude, $600.
Jeez.
Seriously?
That's insane.
Yeah, for 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Minute and 10 seconds.
Maybe because it was worth an hour of his time for all the makeup that he had to put
Yeah,
on.
but
Because when you look at his past ones, you're like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, really?
Past the Aunt Jemima, fucking. And all that pancake you got in your face,
Yeah.
Wow.
Smokey.
I paid $100 for Mookie. We got Mookie does a pre-recorded message.
Mookie Wilson?
Yeah. And it was weird because, well, first off, he went on for maybe a minute or two, but he's rambling about how bad the Mets were in the early '80s. I'm like, what the hell? And he's like, and he said something too about Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Good to see you. What's the matter? You all right?
Yeah, it's a pre-sale. There's a pre-sale code that they didn't email me.
You sure they didn't email it to you?
Yep. I'm in there. Then I'm fucking pre-sale code.
You can't check it right now? You can't check your email?
I don't know. No, there's nothing in the email. I checked that. Let's see. Pre-sale.
Type in Foo or type in Taylor. See what happens.
Yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah, big time.
I thought it was going to be like, City Card or something like that or whatever, or Amex, and usually you just, put that in and you're in.
They're looking for more people in the seats tonight. If anybody is available, go to go to brokerage.
Yeah, we're about to sign off, so let's do that again. So tonight at the
I
brokerage,
just got an email. That's why.
go see this man right here at the brokerage and cheer for him and make sure he gets in.
Round 2, baby. We're trying to get to round 2.
The Long Island Laugh-Off, Chris Cassandro, Joe Cravella, they're there tonight at the brokerage in Belmore for round 1 of the Long Island Laugh-Off. We need to see Chris move up. We need to see Joe move up. So if you're around tonight, go to the brokerage in Belmore. Tickets, what is it, like $15?
$15.
And you'll see some great comedians.
2-item minimum.
2-item minimum. Yeah, so it's a fun night. What time does it start? 7?
7:30.
7:30. It's a fun night. And it's a Thursday, so it'll be fun. Go to the brokerage in Belmore and cheer on Chris and our pal Joe. All right, so I had no idea. I feel bad with the show. And now, if anybody wants to get
public, so I'll go on again tomorrow.
If anybody wants to see get tickets for Jeff,
hook
order
me up.
2 more tickets. If you're
2 additional, please.
Yeah, if you're trying to get
Two
tickets
additional.
right now, just add 2 more, and Jeff will pay you back. He's good like that. But I feel bad about the radio show.
It's okay. What are you gonna do?
All right, you get back in here more often.
Fun. Yeah, dude.
But same thing, copyright claims. So we'd have to play like audio, like phone clips from YouTube. People with their that's what we'd get away with playing in here. But, but it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to be seen.
And let's get together soon, man.
Absolutely.
And have fun tonight. Who's going tonight?
My buddy Neil from the Firehouse going.
Very nice. You asked me to go, didn't you?
I did.
And I unfortunately can't go tonight. Plus, what was it? $150 or something? How much?
There's a bit more than that.
Oh, is it more? Yeah, whatever it was. See, I couldn't do it. I paid. In fact, one of the last concerts I paid crazy money for was McCartney at Citi Field. I was like 30 rows back.
Yeah.
In the disabled section, were risers. So I was 30 rows back, and I didn't have a single head because they were all down here. So I just had this straight view of McCartney. And that live album, Good Evening New York.
Yeah.
That's the night I was there. Billy Joel came out and played.
Yeah.
Right. The last one. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
That was the last show at
No. That
was the first show at Citi Field.
Right.
Billy Joel was the last at Shea.
Where
I was at both of them.
And they brought McCartney out.
Yeah.
So then when McCartney played Citi Field, he brought Billy out.
Yes.
And
Matter of fact, on that Billy
cool.
Joel one on the video, because Tommy, the security guy, so we were down right up front on the movie.
Yeah.
Like you see, like I was like, is that me? Like, holy shit, that is me.
Cool.
What, that Last Play of Shea movie?
Last Play at Shea movie. We're
Really?
right up against the fucking stage.
Nice.
We made our way down because we knew Tommy and all that. Yeah, it's good.
That's a great freaking
Right.
movie.
Yeah. And
You
then
ever
the
see this?
first show.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous to describe it to somebody. It talks about Billy Joel's career and the Mets and the parallel.
Yeah, no, it
but
was
you
good.
watch it, it's really freaking
really
good.
It was
Yeah,
really
really
good.
enjoyed that movie. Wow. All right.
All right, brokerage
all right.
tonight,
Brokerage
7:30.
tonight.
Come on down.
Go see
Tell your
this man.
friends.
And then come back next week. Tell us all about
I
it.
will,
Huh?
Definitely will.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
you,
you.
Chris.
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Good meeting you,
Today
Brian.
is
Tonight.
Thursday. We got nothing tonight, but then me and Andy will be back here tomorrow. Mark DeMeo will be zooming in with us. It's going to be great. So he's a funny guy. So we will see you tomorrow at 11. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Thursday. See you later.